Okay, in lesson 19, the lesson objective is to divide 2 and 3-digit dividends by multiples of 10, make single-digit quotients, and make connections to a written method. Okay, and question 1 is done for us, but let's go over it real quick the way we've been doing it in class. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do an estimation. So we can see we're going to keep 20 as 20, and now we're looking for a compatible number of 20, and we can see it'd be 60, because 60 is a multiple of 20 that is less than 71. So we know that'd be about 3. Now that quotient is what we can come over here to our standard algorithm now. And we can start with 3, because 3 times 20 is 60, subtracted we get 11. And that 11 is smaller than 20, so that's a remainder. But I would, instead, we can write it as remainder 11, or we can put it in proper fractional form, which would be 11 20ths. The 11 comes from the remainder, the 20 comes from the divisor. Now, in order to check this, you're going to do exact opposite of what you did. Okay? First thing you would do is I'm going to take 3 times 20, and then I'm going to add 11. Because 3 times 20 is 60, plus 11 gives us 71. And you can see we started exactly with the same quotient. Under B, for our estimation, we're going to start off with 40, because it's already at 40. We can know the multiples of 40, 80, so I'm going to go to 80, and that gives us 2. Now we come over to standard algorithm. We have 90 divided by 40, and we're going to start with that 2, because 2 times 40 is 80, and that gives us a remainder of 10. To check this, we can go 2 times 40 plus 10, which is our remainder, which gives us 80 plus 10, which equals 90. It's exactly what we started with. On C, our estimation, we start with 60 divided by, now 95. We can see that our multiples would be 60 and 120. So the closest multiple is going to be 60. So it can be 1. So let's try 95 divided by 60. 60, we go 95 one time. 1 times 60 is 60 with a remainder of 35. So to check it, I can do 1 times 60 plus 35, which is 60 plus 35, which gives us 95. On D was done for us. So as you can see, they kept the 30. The multiple closest to 280 would have been 270. That's our compatible number. And 27 divided by 3 is 9. So 270 divided by 30 would be 9. We have been using our fractions and eliminating our tens. We would have came up with the same answer. Now, when they come over here with a 9, 9 times 30 is 270. They subtracted it. They got a remainder of 10. Then they multiplied 30 times 9 to get 270, added the 10, and they got 280, exactly what they started with. On E, we're going to stick with 60 divided by, well, I know 6 times 7 is 42, so I'm going to go with 420. So 420 divided by 60, if I write it as a fraction, we can see we have 42 divided by 6, which would be 7. We go to our standard algorithm, which is 437 divided by 60, and we take that 7. 7 times 60 is 420, which gives us 17 as a remainder. And we know 7 times 60 to check, plus our remainder. So 7 times 60 is 420, plus 17 gives us 437, exactly what we started with. On F, we have 80. Well, we know 8 times 4 is 32, so I'm going to go with 320. So now I have 320 divided by 80, we can see 32 divided by 8 will give us 4. So our 346 divided by 80, start with our estimate of 4. 4 times 80 is 320. Subtract that and we get 26 as a remainder. To check it, 4 times 80 plus 26, which is 320 plus 26, which equals 346, what we started with. Number 2, a number divided by 40 has a quotient of 6 and a remainder of 16. Find the number. So I'm going to go ahead and do me a standard algorithm here so I can get an idea what's going on. This is a number divided by 40, so I know my divisor is 40. A number divided has a quotient of 6 and a remainder of 16. So I know 6, so in order to check this, I would do 40 times 6 plus 16, which would be 240 plus 16 would be 256. So I know this here would have to be 256. Let's check and see if that works. 6 times this would be 240, and with a 16 remainder. So the number is 256. 3. A shipment of 288 reams of paper was delivered. Each of the 30 classrooms received an equal share of paper. Any extra reams of paper were stored. After the paper was distributed to classrooms, how many reams of paper was stored? So, the shipment of 288 reams to 30 classrooms. Any extra reams were stored. After the paper was distributed to classrooms, how many reams of paper were stored? So we're looking for the remainder, because the remainder would be how many of them are stored. So we know we have 288 divided by 30. So our estimate is 30 divided by, well, I know 3 times 7 is 21, 3 times 8 is 24, 3 times 9 would be 27. So I know I can go 270 as my estimate. So 270 divided by 30, and we're going to have 27 divided by 3, which is 9. So our estimate is about 9. So now let's see. 288 divided by 30. So I'm going to take 9. 9 times, it should have been divided by 30, not 300. So 9 times 30 is 270. Subtract that and we have 18. So it's a remainder of 18. So 18 reams of paper were stored. And that means each class got 9. But the question was asking about how many were stored, so the correct answer would be 18. How many groups of 60 are in 244? So it says how many groups of 60 are in 244. So I've got 244 divided by 60. And I know that when we're looking at this, 4 times 6 would give me 24, so I know I can go 240 divided by 60. So it's 240 divided by 60 gives us 24 divided by 6 is 4. So we know this here is going to be 4. So this answer should be approximately 4. So now let's do 244 divided by 60, and I'm going to put the 4 up here. 4 times 60 gives us 240 and 4. So we have 4, remainder 4. So there are how many groups? There are 4 groups. It's not asking us about the remainders, it's asking us about groups. Now if we wanted to check this to make sure, we'd go 4 times 60 plus 4. 4 being our quotient, 60 being our divisor, and 4 being our remainder. 4 times 6 is 240, plus 4 equals 244. And it checks the same thing we have here.